with Halo, I think I ended up more positive on it than you. It seems like, but I agree that
Hmm.
it is a sort of a change on the standard gameplay. It is more like a Doom Eternal where they're open ended and you can kind of move around. I don't know if they're focusing as much on movement as Doom Eternal, but it's more of a, and at the same time, like that's more of a Halo thing too, to create like a sandbox environment. This seems way more sandbox where
Yeah.
you can tackle it from any angle. It did look really fun, so I would love to. I'm actually super stoked to like when as I process the gameplay and how it was almost cartoony, how colorful it was. But I dig that
Hmm.
they're leaning more into that first Halo with the just with the overall vibes. Um,
Hmm.
they added sprinting, they added the I was gonna say umbilical cord. The like that cord that you can shoot out. It's not an
Yeah.
umbilical cord. It's a
Yeah.
harpoon gun. Whatever. I'm blanking on that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
grappling hook. There we go. They added
You're
the
thinking of
grappling
you're
hook.
thinking of Death Stranding.
Yeah, there's a baby in there. They
Yeah.
added the grappling hook, which is cool. I guess it comes down to how they use it because it was really for adding more fast paced movement with Doom Eternal. So I don't know if that lends for itself with Halo, but I guess it's how they balance that. But yeah, I'm positive on it, but I want to see more. I want to see if it's fully open world or are they kind of like more controlled small areas that are really large compared to what we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting to see more of it. Yeah, I just think that they could have, I don't know, there just wasn't anything like where I was like, wow, like that's next gen or that's new, that's that's impressive. I wasn't impressed by anything in it at all. It was just even visually, I didn't think it looked anything special. I mean, it looks nice, but there was just nothing. I don't know. There's just nothing that really blew me away, which is what that's what you need from Halo. That's why Halos fell down to the wayside because not necessarily that Halo 4 and 5 are bad, but just they're unremarkable. Halo's always been a game that comes out and people are like, "Wow, there's nothing else like this out there." And Halo and with Halo 4 and 5, it seemed like they were trying to take inspiration from other things.
Right.
Seems like the same with Infinite, when really Halo's the one that should be giving that inspiration to other games. So yeah, just from what I've saw, I mean, I know we only saw what like 8 or so minutes of gameplay, but yeah, just from what I saw, I just thought it seemed quite generic in term, sort of with how by Halo standards, really.
Gotcha. It's interesting. I feel like we separate on this because I would argue that by them leaning into the gameplay, it shows that they're more. This is something that of more of a traditional experience because you're right that 5 and 4, and I've only played little bits of them, but they do lean in this harder like Call of Duty side where it's way more
Hmm.
cinematic and there's cutscene, events, QuickTime events, and it's a lot of
Mm.
that, and it's very like Hollywood. And it seems like by showing
Yeah.
a really strong portion of the gameplay here and how it's just you get to do what you want, you get to explore how you want, and tackle the situation how you want. It seems like it's if anything, it's more towards that traditional Halo style of gameplay. But
Mhm.
is it lacking anything that like really hits you in the face and changes how you view it? I don't think it does. But maybe they wanted to show how we got this thing running and it's fun, and that's what we're focusing on to kind of bring that franchise
Mhm.
back. But I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see how more, once we get closer, once it gets into people's hands, like what the actual campaign
Yes.
feels like, and also multiplayer. If you were to take this gameplay snippet and then add this to multiplayer, that seems really fun. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it at the end of the day enough to separate from the other ones? I'm not sure.
And see whether it's got. I mean, because even just like that gun that he picked up, that Ravager gun or whatever. I mean, that was like a hit scan gun, and same with like the purple machine.
Hmm.
You're able to get right in the face of your opponent or your enemy, and and just use your mobility and your skill to beat them. Whereas, there were parts in that gameplay demo where he was just stood in the middle of a crowd of enemies, had these guns that just zap like a laser because there's no bullet drop or anything, and he's just standing around pointing at these enemies like a point and click sort of adventure game. And that's exactly the. I mean, not saying that's a bad thing. That's what most first person shooters are, but that's not what Halo is or was, and that's what made it so enticing to play. The fact you could get right up in the grill of like loads of enemies and just dart around because all of their weapons shoot slowly, so you're able to like get out the way, and you like time your shots of how they're moving, so have to shoot like in front of them or what. And there's just so many variables that make every single combat encounter fun. And that just looked like they were playing, Destiny or Doom, where it's just, not a bad thing, but it's not Halo. It's that is the kind of experience you get from other first-person shooters, and Halo's supposed to give you the other kind of experience, and it just doesn't seem to have gone back to its roots in that respect for me.
Yeah, I do hear you on that. I wonder if they'll face criticism with that grappling hook, because I mean Doom did it, and that's a huge FPS, and so there's no way you can't compare them. I wonder though how long they were developing that though. If that was something that's like, oh, they have that, let's try and do that, or if it was in tandem, they were developing it, and now it's like it's baked into the game in such a way where it's like we can't remove that just because Doom has that thing. But if they do their own spin on it, their own take, then I don't have a problem with it. But I wonder if they'll face unfair comparisons because they did that.
Yeah, no, I think grappling looks cool. I think it's a nice way to like zip around and get different sort of. Again, if the grappling hook was in the old Halo games, that'd be awesome, because it's all about darting around your enemies, getting out the way of their shots, finding different angles on them, and every shot's satisfying because you have to like follow the bullet, make sure that like you're accounting for enemies' movements and things like that. Yeah. But that's my main point of contention with Halo 4 and 5, because I know that they started implementing these weapons because I don't know what the new bad guys are called, but apparently it was their weapons when they were introduced, where all of their bullets are just hit scans. So as soon as you click, that bullet's hit that enemy, which just changes the complete style of the game. And that's why Halo 4 and 5 fell by the wayside with the online as well, because there were like even some of the maps they remastered were being played completely differently because the guns were just so different that the only thing you could do was hide behind cover and pop out and shoot. So I don't know. Just for me, it doesn't seem like they've really listened to old school Halo fans who like the sort of arena shooter feel of the combat encounters. It seems like they're keeping the fairly generic modern FPS style, and then trying to make it they're trying to make it more sandboxy. But I don't think the sandbox is necessarily, for me personally, what I feel was missing from the newer Halos.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean that's all fair. We will see. I mean, you'll be able to play this on Game Pass, so I mean, really, you don't have to drop the full retail price, which is nuts. But
yeah.
As far as
I'm sure it'll be great, and I'm really excited to play it.
I guess I was expecting to, because I imagine we saw this on Series X, hardware. I was expecting maybe something a bit more advanced to really showcase. Like, I don't know if there's any new special stuff going on with the lighting, or I mean, the particle effects are really nuts. But I don't know, it just didn't scream like, hey, this is next gen. I feel like you could do this on an Xbox One, and for sure like a PlayStation hardware as well. So I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be. I wonder how the internet reacts to it as well. Like, is this something that's blowing them away? I'm not really feeling. It looks great. It looks amazing. It's just like we're going into next gen, so you got to kind of step it up.
Yeah, I mean, I might be completely in the minority, and like I said, I'm not the biggest Halo fan. I just really loved, especially Halo 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I told you I'm playing Halo 1 at the moment for the first time. Halo 2 and 3 were both games that I loved, but I never played the first one. So yeah, I mean, old school, like proper old school hardcore fans who didn't like 4 and 5 might think this looks much better for them. But yeah, just for me, I was just expecting something else, and yeah, like you said, there was no. Like, I wouldn't look at this and I could see that being played on a normal Xbox One for sure. There was nothing groundbreaking about its visuals or anything. I think there are games. I think Doom Eternal probably looks better. From what I've seen,
it's possible.
So and I mean, this game isn't even out yet, and this is their flagship game. So I think I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure it'll be great, but it just hasn't. The hype has maybe been overhyped or something. But yeah, I'm just not too sold yet.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. We'll see, and these are all live raw thoughts on it. So we'll see. Maybe they release more footage, or over time they kind of explain more of the features that they didn't in this trailer or this gameplay. But we'll see. I mean, but overall, yeah. I mean, solid conference. It's
Yeah,
I just was left with a little like I was hoping for some like kind of crazy thing that they pull off, but
yeah,
it's not like they didn't provide a lot of information and showed off what their studios are working on.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can't really say that it was a bad conference. I think it's definitely a fair thing to say. I wanted to see more or some or better, because I think there was a lot of CG trailers as well. There wasn't a huge amount of gameplay for
Yeah,
games. I definitely expected to see
Hellblade.
what was the game? Hellblade. Yeah, Hellblade. Definitely expect to see some
Yeah, me
gameplay
too.
there. In fact, we didn't even see anything new there. So yeah, I think there was definitely some things that could have been shown off. But then again, it hasn't been long since Microsoft have started this new initiative into games. So give them some time,
Right.
and I'm sure things will look exciting. But yeah, there's definitely some exciting games there. So yeah, it's a good day to be an Xbox fan, I think, for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah, me as well. Yeah, I feel the same way.